Good morning, everyone. Here we are. It's Fruit Nut News. Let me just pull this to. Not sure what that's going to do. It's probably, yeah, it's too bright, that. Hold on, guys. There we go. That's better. Okay, good morning, everyone. Here we are. It's the Fruit Nut News on, of course, what day are we today? The 4th. Wednesday the 4th today. This is the 4th day of the World War III. Woohoo! Here we go. Not overly keen on war, but of course we've got to get this child trafficking stopped. That's what it's all about. For all you people that are still stuck in the matrix, this is all about. It's all about the children, and it always has been about the children. Far bigger than anything that you can imagine. Far bigger than anything that you can imagine. So, very, very interesting. Also, a war of our hearts and minds, so to speak. And this is not a war against a particular country. It is, of course, a war against the cabal, the deep state, you know, whatever you want to call it. So let's have a quick hello. John O'Brien is first in this morning. Dave Hunter second. Kelly Close is, of course, third. Lisa McCulloch's in. Shepherd's in. What else have we got? Angie's in. Sheila Douglas is in. Jill's in. Zena's in. Debbie's in. Yvonne Keeley's in. Jason Thomas is in. Sue Allen is in. Nina's in. Natalie's in. Jackie's in. Brian Wright is in. Jen Meese is in. Chris Taylor. Joyce is in. Brenda's in. Christina's in. Sharon Young's in. Graham's in. Belinda's in. Emmy's in. Annette Lynn is in. Ann Taylor's in. And, of course, Leslie. So, yeah, good morning, everyone. It is certainly hotting up on the Western Front. Now, Donald Trump has announced that he's going to protect the tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, or Hormuz. If you can't pronounce it properly, just think of it as humus. So what's happened here is that Lloyd's of London Maritime Law have basically refused to insure any of the ships that are going through the Strait of Hormuz. So so that means that the oil supply completely dries up and causes a great deal of problems. So, in order to counteract this, Donald Trump has ordered that American insurance companies step in and keep this oil supply going. Now, of course, some may say that Donald Trump will keep all the oil himself, and maybe he will, maybe he won't. Who knows? But this is all about the crashing of the City of London. Okay, now you should be, most of you should be well aware of the maritime law. You should be well aware of Lloyd's of London. You should be well aware of what's going on in regards to the Federal Reserve, the Titanic, how it was all set up, the Rothschilds, the birth certificate scam, etc., etc. This all leads to that. Okay, so this is what is going. Also, as well, there is a massive possibility. If we go back to the Suez Canal incident, remember when the tanker went AWOL and got stuck in the Suez Canal. Okay, can you remember that? Yeah, very interesting little maneuver. That allowed them to be able to check the tanker. And this is exactly what's going to go off here. So not only is Donald Trump escorting the tankers, I would imagine that there is going to be some kind of checks taking place. Very interesting. So we shall wait and see. Meanwhile, apparently, now I don't know how true this is or not. Apparently, Prince William basically got the family together a few weeks ago and demanded that they have a financial audit. And apparently, everybody agreed, apart from Andrew and Fergie and the two kids. I wonder why that is. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that the two girls earn around about $19,000 a year, but they happen to be on holiday 25 to 30 times a year. They must be going on some very bargain holidays. That's all I can say. Now, meanwhile, of course, the move by William could be interpreted as either the fact that he's got his hands tied behind his back and he's being forced to do that, or, of course, he could have done it as a sleight of hand tactic. Know what I mean? Don't look over here, look over there. Anyway, we'll wait and see, because it's all getting very sexy at the moment. Now, of course, I'm not sure whether Mimi's in. I think she is. Mimi, that's the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. So very interesting. Now, what else have we got? Now, a report about the Strait of Hormuz. I think it was done by Donald Trump. I'm not quite sure. It showed a red circle, which was the very sort of like choke point. So there was a red circle around the choke point. Now, remember, nothing happens by coincidence. So then what we had, Japan announces an emergency financial meeting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, Eastern Standard Time. Now, I've got no idea whether that was yesterday or today. It doesn't matter, but that's what that's all about. Japan, of course, red circle. Their flag is a white flag, red circle. Two coincidences there that we can't ignore. Okay? They can't ignore. And apparently Japan are going to dump $600 billion worth of US stocks. Hey, get on. Get actually on. Now, meanwhile, of course, Keir Starmer's been faffing around like a complete and utter muppet. I actually don't think he knows what's going on. I think he's either A, being kept in the dark deliberately, okay, or he's sort of being made to do certain things, okay. Keir Starmer's not running the UK. There's no way Keir Starmer is running the UK. Now, apparently this morning, Keir Starmer has basically ordered the HMS Dragon. Now, when you think about dragon, I automatically think about the dragon families, the white dragon families, the red dragon families, who basically want their money back. They want their money back, and I don't blame them. I actually don't blame them, because after lending the Western world a considerable shitload of money and getting shafted over by the West, yeah. It's time to pay that back. Sorry, I got an ear in my mouth there. It's time to pay back that back. Now, HMS Dragon. Now, we've all heard the words epic fury. Now, epic fury could mean Epstein files. But the other thing that I was thinking about, I wonder if it stands for epoch. Epoch. Now, if you've never heard the word epoch, it is a word that is used to issue in and to usher in a new period of Earth. It's called an epoch. It happens I'm not quite sure what the years are, but it's like 268,000 years or whatever it happens to be. So could it be that? Now, meanwhile, HMS Dragon in which has just been deployed, or it's getting ready to be deployed by, of course, the British HMS Dragon. So let's have a look what that means in gematria. That, of course, means a new moon. Enough. Nero Caesar. Rapture. Ascension. Judgment firmament. Most high. Evergreen. There's an interesting one. And, of course, patriots. So, could it be that this big wave that Donald Trump was talking about in a couple of days ago is the checkmate period, the checkmate? Now, let's also remember that there are reports that Donald Trump is very infectious. Okay, apparently he's going to take a break because he's very infectious and severely ill. No real sort of what should we say? No more details about that. And apparently, Melania is going to take over. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Now, Melania a couple of days ago was seen at the. She was chairing a meeting of the UN Security Council, which is very ironic. Now, originally we were like, this is madness. This is absolute madness. But is Melania showing you that chairing a high-profile meeting can be done by normal people? You don't need anybody special. You just need to be like normal. So there you go. So is that smashing the this illusion that these people are somehow more qualified than us, somehow better than us? So yeah, it could be that. Now, also, Shanghai Gold Exchange. This is an interesting one. Now, the Shanghai Gold Exchange basically published gold at $5,560 an ounce. Now, that's gone up around about $560, probably even more than that, in a very short period of time. Here's the kicker: they didn't publish the silver, so they didn't publish the silver. Now, why are they hiding the silver price? Now, I did say that silver is going to do one-on-one with gold, and it will possibly go further than that. Now, I don't know. I just got this feeling. It was a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago. A few months ago, I was offered so much gold, so much silver, and I just got this feeling that I should take it and that it was gonna go. Well, anyway, I'm not really bothered whether or not it does or whether or not it doesn't. All it means is that I can maybe afford an extra bottle of wine with me dinner. Oh, and probably some more ginger and garlic, maybe a bit of chicken as well. Who knows? But anyway, so we'll wait and see about that. Also, the South Korean stock market has crashed. as well. So that's very interesting. Now, I think that what all this is, I think that we're in a middle. We're sort of at the start, or maybe a few days into the start of the Black Swan event that people keep talking about. Remember that also as well, citizens from around the world are being returned to their native countries. Now, this of course has to do with not so much repatriation, but this has to do with Jasara Nasara. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happened. Now, now this is an interesting one. Welsh police have formally admitted that the juice is an mRNA bioweapon. Fucking hell. And not only have they opened an official investigation, but they have also referred the matter to the Metropolitan Police. Now, as we well know, these guys are all in the club. Will anything get done? Don't know. But the important thing is that it has actually been acknowledged. Now, when we look at the Israeli Trump situation, has Donald Trump forced the Israelis to launch an attack upon Iran? Now, remember, Iran is a partner of Israel. Okay, let's remember this. Okay, so it's a very, very interesting move. The bigger question is, of course, why hasn't Israel bombed Iran in the past? Now, remember, Donald Trump went in there a few months ago and knocked the back doors out of the nuclear program. So everybody thought it was all over and done and dusted, and then all of a sudden it ignites back up again. So, it's all 5D chess, probably more than we can even imagine. Now, the whole of this operation, everything that's going on, okay, is of course against the deep state, the Rothschilds, the Bank of England, the British colonial rulers, etc., etc. And also as well, it was reported yesterday that 17 Iranian ships have been sunk. That word 17 keeps popping up rather a lot, doesn't it? So, very interesting times, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very interesting times. Don't forget, don't forget, a lot of the banks are closing. Lloyd's have closed loads of banks. Santander, we heard that now Santander closed in our local area, which is actually quite a big area when you take into account what happened. Anyway, a lot of the big banks, NatWest and all them, they all shut down, and there was only one left called Santander. So everybody, of course, switched their accounts to Santander, and it was always very busy in there. You could go in and do this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, after promising to keep it open, they decided to shut the bank. And, of course, everybody now has to go to Middlesbrough, or we have to go into Northallerton, which is a bit of a trek away. We're looking at 15 miles. Middlesbrough's about 15 miles, so it's a bit of a chew to get on. There are other ways around it, of course, but, if you want to do any substantial stuff, you've got to do that. So, so we've got banks closing. I think they will continue. Don't forget, if you are basically controlling the Strait of Hormuz, you can basically be looking for children, weapons, missiles, guns, drugs, and of course the good old money. Oh, not to mention trafficking and organ trafficking. It's very, very interesting. Now, Armageddon is being mentioned a few times, and of course, I'm not sure whether or not this was prophesied in the Bible. Maybe I can't remember because I'm not up on Bible literature, but apparently the final battle will be in the Middle East, and Middle East countries will fight against Israel at the base of Mount Hebron. Very interesting. So it has actually been, I'm being told that it is actually a Bible event, a biblical event. Now, remember that these, of course, are biblical events that are playing out in modern times. So that's what you've got to remember. Biblical prophecy playing out in modern times. So what was forecast years and years and years ago is, of course, modern times. So it's it's not what should we say? It's not as we often sometimes think of it back in the day. Now, remember that in the Bible, okay, in the Bible, Mount Hebron was where, of course, the fallen angels landed. Now, the question is, of course, who were the fallen angels? What were the fallen angels? Where did they come from? So there could be different interpretations of what fallen angels are. Fallen angels could be demons. Fallen angels could be reptilians. Fallen angels could be aliens. We're not quite sure because, of course, as you well know, we haven't been taught the full story of everything. Now, it could be, like I say, alien disclosure. We don't know. We just don't know. So there's definitely something going on. There's definitely something occurring, and there's definitely something unfolding. Now, I keep saying to everybody, don't get your knickers in a twist. Sit yourself at 40,000 feet. Get yourself a cigar, a glass of wine, a log burner, and sit there and just watch it. Because remember, this will be written about. It will be talked about. It will be discussed, right? We are part of history, biblical history, right? And so I've always said to you that my belief in all of this is that we are not traveling forwards into the future. And the reason that is because the Bible was written in the past. Okay? Now think about this. We're not traveling forward into the future. The Bible was written in the past. So that must mean that we are traveling backwards into the future. Because the Bible was written in the past. Okay? So we must be travelling backwards into the future. And remember, of course, Back to the Future, the film called Back to the Future, a very interesting film. One part of it showed some, I don't know whether they were Iranian terrorists or what they were, but they were terrorists. And they came into that car park. Can you remember? They came into the car park, shooting and going to. And then, very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, listen, I'm going to get myself off. Hope you all enjoyed that. It's certainly a bit of a catch up for me. We've got right now, just for all you chemtrailers, we've got over the last 2 or 3 days, right? We've got absolutely freaking incredible sun. The sun is massive and it's bright as anything. The moon last night was incredible. Okay, absolutely incredible. The moon last night, it's just ridiculous. So we got the sun. I mean, I was outside all day, mostly yesterday. I never saw one plane in the sky. Not one. Not one. Okay? Not one plane in the sky. Okay? So I heard some fighters and stuff, some military stuff, but there was no commercial. No commercial. So really, really interesting. Really interesting. So I wonder with everything that's going on in the world, I wonder if the airspace is basically now maybe closed down, maybe. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you take care. We will see you all again soon. And yeah, love you loads. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves.